Emily here again. I am with Gary Schaefer and his wife Marlene and Eric's mom. Today we are here to discuss Eric, but before we dive into that, we would like to make a small correction on our previous video.
Yes, on the previous video, had a little bit of a tongue twist. The term substance use disorder is the medical term for addiction, SUD. It's not reverse, which I used before. Addiction is not the medical term. Substance use disorder is the medical term. So just want to clear that up.
Perfect. So we're going to discuss all the great things about Eric today. Tell me, what is the first thing that comes to mind when you guys think of him?
Well, he was a quiet kid, but yet if he felt comfortable around you, he was outgoing, comical, could be funny.
And he was, as a child, he was very loving.
Oh,
Yeah,
he was a loving child.
Yeah.
He was hugs, kisses, cuddles, all of that good stuff. Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah, he was.
Okay. And where does Eric lie with siblings? Like,
He's in the middle.
he's the middle
He's the
kid.
middle child,
Okay.
yes.
So we
Yes.
hear things about the middle kid. Does he, like, what was that like for him and the siblings when he was born? Or I guess for his older sister, brother?
Brother.
Brother.
Brother's
Okay.
older and the sister's younger.
Okay.
And when it was him and his brother, they were, best buds,
Yeah.
always. He was a very easygoing child because even as a baby, I think he just looked around. He just watched, he just observed, and he just fit right in. And then even when Rachel came, he was just a little toddler because
Okay.
everybody was 2 years apart,
Oh, okay.
like 2 years and 2 months
Yeah.
apart.
Eric and Keith both played hockey, so that was their bond. They used to go out in the street, rollerblade, play rollerblade hockey in the street, and they had a game of mini sticks where you have like a shortened version of a hockey stick and with a plastic ball, and they would play that in the house. Where I think Rachel and Eric had a more personal relationship than Keith and Eric did, where they shared a little bit more from that personal standpoint.
Okay, maybe more of like a deeper emotional connection?
When they were older, when
Yeah.
they were little, it
Yeah.
was still, well, she was into the baby doll. She didn't really like Barbies. I saved all my Barbies for her, but she liked baby dolls. But it's like when they got a little bit older, they would play store together.
Yeah.
They would, build tents. They would kind of do stuff like that,
It was funny when they were young, they would play a game of meow meow because we had cats,
Yeah.
and Eric and Rachel would go meow meow, and I always thought it was a secret message type deal. And after Eric had died, I asked Rachel, was there any meaning to that? And she goes, no, it was just two kids goofing around.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's so
it
sweet.
was.
Oh, so what was Eric like in his childhood? Did he have a big group of friends, small group? What did that look like?
He kind of had a small group.
Yeah.
He had like a few kids in the neighborhood. Well, they went to a Catholic grade school, so you had your neighborhood friends, you had your school friends, and then they had their hockey friends.
Okay.
So we had
Yeah,
three
so we
different
kind of
groups. and
had
they,
three
they
groups.
didn't really interact because everybody lived so far away.
Yeah.
His school
Yeah.
friends, there was nobody within walking distance from school.
Okay.
And so he had a few neighborhood friends, he had some school friends, and then he had the hockey friends.
But they were all kind of small groups.
Yeah, it was personal. If he had 2 or 3 friends in each of those 3 different categories, that was what he felt comfortable with.
Yeah, for
You
sure.
know.
Yeah, and when he had a friend in our a neighborhood, Ryan. Those two were pretty tight. I mean,
Yeah.
Eric would go to Ryan, Ryan would come to our
Yeah.
house. Those two were like the best buds. And even when they moved away from our area, they still kept in touch, and Eric would go to their house or Ryan would come. But hockey, he had his, when you have a team of 15, 16 kids, you got your little groups. But
Right.
yeah. But he was a very joyful kid. I mean, when you see him, he laughed. I mean, he would have fun with his friends, and he'd be the type to kind of pull practical jokes.
Yeah, he was a real jokester.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he was, and he would annoy his siblings,
Oh yeah.
tickle them, just really get at him. He would try and wrestle with Keith, and being like he was smaller framed and being 2 years younger, but if he really went all out, he could beat you up, if it was more than, he was a real jokester.
We have pictures of Eric when he was young, under 10, in that time frame, and his head would be turned, and he had like this sly look on his face, like, watch out. I mean, it was a pleasant, it was kind of like, watch out, because you never know what's going to happen.
Okay.
And I see those facial expressions on some of the grandsons.
Do you?
Oh
I do.
yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
We have a couple grandsons that not just their facial expression, like you get them from a certain view, but their mannerisms said, boy, is that Eric?
I love that.
Yeah. So it's like, he's still here, right? Just implanted in another person.
Yeah, they carry some of his genes.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
That's so
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
But we never had trouble with him in school. He was easy to manage.
Yeah, he was. Yeah. Yeah.
So he wasn't a troublemaker, not one of those types of kids.
No.
Unless it was with the siblings.
Right,
Right.
exactly.
Right.
He knew those boundaries. He knew.
Well, when he was playing out in the street, rollerblade hockey, he still didn't let nobody get away with anything.
Good for him.
Oh, yeah.
If they were messing with him,
Yeah.
it wouldn't be unusual for him to haul off and hit you.
Oh, yeah.
Right. Don't mess with me.
He was a goalie playing ice hockey,
Yeah.
and he was on travel, which is more serious. And if you came near his crease or you kind of bumped into him, he was not shy about giving you a little shot when he had a chance to get you. Oh yeah. So he was a competitive kid when it came to the things that he liked.
Yeah,
But,
and it sounds like he did it pretty appropriately in the right settings.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, it wasn't like
No, it's not like he hauled off
gonna-
and beat the heck out of a
No,
kid. But
no. But if you're playing ice hockey and you slashed him or
It comes
something,
with it.
right?
with it.
He's gonna rebel.
Yeah.
He's not one to take it.
Okay.
He's kind of had that personality. It's like,
But I think when he had, I wouldn't say serious girlfriends, but he went to dances and that type of deal at school. But
right.
when it came to the girls, I think he was a little bit shy.
Yeah.
He was. He was a shy.
No.
He was a cute, good-looking kid, though.
Right. Oh, he was. Yeah.
Yeah.
I know. I've seen pictures. He's a handsome kid.
He had grown into a handsome man. That's for sure.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did.
Yeah. Very much.
But no, he's missed. But
I can tell, and I can imagine. I mean, he sounds like an amazing just human in general. Funny, outgoing, competitive, all those great things in a person.
Well, he was a very helpful kid too. I mean, when he became a chef, one of the things they did is his place where he worked, they wanted him to compete for this benefit. It was downtown at Eastern Market. And they sent this young girl with them who worked at the restaurant to cook with them. He would get a thrill out of sharing what he knew. I mean, he was mentoring her and showing her, because he had been cooking for quite a period of time. So he just loved to share his knowledge when it came to culinary arts and, cooking. He just loved to do
And he
it.
would help me.
Once
he started cooking and would make some meals at home, I swear I just felt like I didn't know anything about cooking. It's like I didn't even want to cook because I couldn't do it as good as him.
Right.
Well, see,
Yeah.
he would look
He was
at,
amazing.
and I'm worse than her. So
Yeah.
he would
he
look at
was.
me when I tried to
Yeah.
cook something, and you could tell he was getting kind of edgy, and he would come into the kitchen and say, "I'll finish it."
Right, right.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But he loved to cook for people. He cooked for our friend's birthday party,
Nice.
and they said it was one of the best steak meals that they had when he cooked. And we took him up north to my brother's place, and he had venison, and Eric cooked the venison for us. Now, my brother has cooked it before and so forth.
Being a
And-
hunter.
Yeah, being a hunter, and he came out, and I could tell it was a sincere when he said, "This is some of the best venison I've had."
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, he
That's
Yeah,
just
he was
loved
very
to
good.
share that.
So when did he get into cooking? When did that spark for him?
He was in high school,
Okay.
and he got a job in an assisted living
Oh, that's right.
where our oldest son Keith, he had been dating Michelle for a while,
Mhm.
probably like a year then. And Michelle's mom, she headed up a kitchen in the senior living place. So she got him a job as the dishwasher.
Okay.
And, that's where he started. And he started with the chef there, the executive chef. And
Dave.
yeah, they just got along, and he was the one that kind of put the spark in Eric to go to culinary school. Because he could see the talent, they would let him, when they needed to, he could prep food for him, when the cooks didn't come in or whatever, he kind of slid into that role.
Yeah, Dave
Yeah.
was 30 years his senior, if not more.
Right, and he was a huge
But
mentor.
they connected like this. And
Yeah.
this was another thing about Eric. He learned his music because Eric said he was born at the wrong time. He likes
Yeah.
Beatles, Johnny Cash, and all that time era. And
Bob Dylan. Yeah, he
Bob,
was a big one.
Dylan's big on his
Yeah,
list. But
yeah. He would have loved
Dave's
that
the
movie that's out
one
now.
who introduced him to music. And it was like American Bandstand in the kitchen because Dave would put on all his music from that time era, and they just cooked away for the residents. So it's like, that's where he got his love for music, and I think cooking is through Dave. And
Right. Oh yeah.
Dave and him became very good friends, even though the
Special
age.
relationship.
Right. Right.
Mhm.
Yeah. So that's when he started taking the classes,
That's so
going
cool.
to culinary school, and
Wow.
Yeah.
and it just came. I mean, like I look at his books when I had to go through them afterwards, after he passed, and just to see all the, like his test, he saved that stuff. And I mean, it's like, this is not easy stuff.
Mm-mm.
You're doing measurements and, this is how much to that and how much of this would you use. And then even like just dietary,
Right.
Like who should eat this, what should you stay away from in this situation.
He cooked us some great meals.
Yeah.
But the only bad part was when he was done, the kitchen was a mess and we had to clean it up.
Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah.
But
it was a good trade-off for me.
Yeah, it was a good
Yeah,
trade-off.
yeah,
But his culinary, if people go out to a higher end restaurant, the food presentation is critical.
Mm-hmm.
And Eric would actually do that for us. I mean, if he was making a big meal, he would spend time placing and this is just in his house with his parents, and he would place the food, and that's how much pride he had in what he was doing.
That is really awesome.
Yeah.
When he had to take the pastry arts class, that was not good for us. Well, I don't know about you, because Gary's very picky with desserts, but he would have to bring the stuff home.
Uh-huh.
And, I must have gained at least 10 pounds that semester.
Yeah.
Because everything was just scrumptious. Maybe
was
5 pounds,
yeah.
but
It was
Yeah,
a
it
big
was-
part of what he had to do for school, but I don't think it was his really love. He
no,
just
but he had to
do it.
take it, and he did well in it.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it was just,
Yeah.
that was his.
That's Eric.
He sounds
Yeah.
very talented, and he's athlete, chef, great brother, and
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he was a very good brother.
Yeah, he
that's
was.
awesome.
Yeah.
He
Keith
came into
and
the world
Rachel.
in distress though when I was in labor.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it was a well, I was trying to go natural since Keith was a C-section. I was trying to go natural with Eric, but he got in distress, and then when I had him and he was born, it was like a day before I could see him. It was one of those where they rushed him out.
He was kind of like a
Kinda
lightish
blue.
bluish, you know.
Yeah,
yeah.
so it was,
So,
you know, I didn't get to see him till the next day. So
well, of course, I didn't get to hold him.
right,
Which,
right.
You know, that type
Didn't
of
hear
deal.
the first cry. I don't even think we heard the first cry.
Well, they kind of said here and took him away.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
that was kind of it. But
yeah,
he turned out okay.
right, yeah.
It made it all the more special when you
It
finally got to
did.
meet him.
It did.
Oh, yeah.
Yes,
It
everything
did.
was, perfect, and he came home regular time, and
Good.
it was a very good baby. Yeah,
Yeah.
he was very good.
Heck of a kid.
Sounds like
And he was
it.
good with all like his grandparents. Like my mom was his favorite.
Oh.
He knew how to butter up.
Yeah,
too.
he buttered her up.
Mhm.
Yeah, he would call her sweetie.
Oh, he had a way with words.
Yes. Oh, he did. Yes,
Yes,
he
he did.
definitely did.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he did.
Mhm.
Yeah, he had her wrapped around his finger.
Oh, he did. He did. He
Yeah.
did you at times too.
Oh,
At
always,
times. At times.
always. Yeah, right.
Oh, God.
Yeah. He was
He was a I mean, just his smile and his laugh was
right.
something else.
Just everything
Yeah.
about him was special.
Yeah,
Mhm.
Yeah.
Special kid.
it was really. Yeah, he was. Just had a unique personality.
Mhm.
Because he could be stubborn. He
Oh, I'm
could.
sure,
I mean, it
I'm
wasn't
sure.
like he was always sweet.
Yeah.
If you pissed him off, when he
Watch
was
out.
older,
Yeah.
he would let you know.
Mhm.
Yeah.
He didn't. He didn't. He demanded respect from people. He wasn't one of those that is like, if you're not going to treat me good, or listen to what I have to say, I'm just not going to go all out for you.
Well, he set boundaries.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And especially later in his life, because of what he had lived through, I think that was all the more that he
Mhm.
did set the boundaries,
Mhm.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
and he didn't just, accept anything from anybody.
You have to
It's
set
like-
boundaries.
Right.
And that's so important.
Right.
Yeah.
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 Very much so.
So I know Eric had his love for his cat, Sarge.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. Yes.
How did Sarge become part of the family?
He
Um,
condescended to it.
Yeah. Yeah.
He
It
did.
was his girlfriend at the time. And
Okay.
well, actually, like she told us, they were looking. I guess she had cats, and they went to the pet store because when her and Eric were, with the cat, and it's like, God, this cat's breath is terrible. There's got to be something, from the store that we can get for him.
Uh-huh.
And he went right to the cats for sale, in the little cage, and it was kind of,
Well, Eric had called me
yeah.
and he said, I'd like to get a cat. And I think he said he was at the pet store, and I'm there, him hauling around because we had just put our previous cat down. So we kind of said, we don't want any more cats. So anyway, Rachel condescended getting a cat. So Rachel had a cat, and she was living here. So then he played you let Rachel had a cat.
Right.
Mhm.
So we said, okay, you can have the cat. So
Right.
next thing
What
you
could
know,
say? Yeah.
Right.
he's got
Yeah.
a cat with this big, long, fluffy tail on him,
Mhm.
Sarge. But you know what?
Yeah.
The previous cat, we had two cats previously at the same time, and one of them was still
Sisters.
left.
They were
Tiger.
sisters.
Yeah,
Yeah.
a sisters. After Eric came home from Florida, he was gone for 2 years. Tiger, it was like he was never gone. She went
I know,
right
that's
back to
amazing
him,
how-
like, and we had heard
Just the
time-wise memory for cats and I guess dogs, it's not the same as for us. So for her, it was like, hey, here he is, and
Mhm.
she went right back to him.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And even now, like when Brittany will come when we go on vacation, and she'll come and visit Sarge and feed him and that, and I mean he knows her voice,
Oh.
and it could
As
be
soon as she
it could be
walks in the
months.
door and
Uh-huh.
hears the voice,
Yeah.
he comes out from wherever he's
Yeah.
at.
Yeah, so
Brittany was the
I
one
guess-
that he was with when they got the cat.
Okay.
yeah, I mean, I know I've heard dogs are like that,
Mhm.
but I guess cats are like that too.
Yeah.
You know, they just, I guess they don't have any perception of time, is what some people say.
Yeah.
You know, they don't know if you're gone for a day or you've been gone for 2 weeks or 2 years. It's like they hear you. It's like, oh, okay,
Yeah.
you know. So that's good.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
he
You
had
know.
his love for his family, for his sports, Jeff, his pets.
Yeah.
He was just a loving guy.
We figured
yeah,
God knew we needed something, and that's why we got Sarge.
yeah,
Sergeant Pepper. Yeah.
yeah. And he is special.
He is a very loving cat too.
Yeah.
Yeah, he is. Yeah,
Mhm.
he is very
Yeah.
loving.
Where the other
As
one,
far as-
Tiger, would never come to me or barely to her, but she would go up to Eric.
Oh.
Yeah,
But Sarge will go up to anybody.
yeah, he's very friendly.
Yeah.
But for a while, he wasn't like a lap cat.
Mhm.
You know, he would, or he might sit here or whatever. But I don't know. Just lately, he's 15 pounds. So it's like if you're laying, you know, for hours watching TV and he's on your lap, it's like my legs are like going numb. they want to twitch or something, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's very affectionate.
Mhm.
Loves the grandkids too.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
Eric picked a good one.
Yeah,
He
he
did.
did.
He had good taste.
He
There you
did.
go.
He did. Yes.
There you go. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely. Just it's such a cute little thing, you know. Because I think he was about 6-7 weeks old.
Yeah. Sarge. Yeah, he was. And they told us he'd be big because his paws were big. I guess that's how you can tell
Yeah.
a kitten. His paws were big as a kitten, and we went to the vet, and they said this cat's gonna be not small. It's
And
gonna
he
be a
is,
pretty
yeah.
big boy.
I mean,
yeah.
I you know, I can't hold him. I have to hold him like this. He's like laying across.
Oh,
Yeah.
my
It's huge.
goodness.
Yeah.
Have you seen him?
I have. I've
You
had
have?
a chance to meet him.
Okay.
He's
Yeah.
a sweet boy.
Okay.
Mhm.
Yes, he is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I felt kind of honored because he was part of Eric, so I felt a little connection there.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, he was. He would always lay on Eric, but you know, I just thought, well, that's because that's his owner,
That's
you
his
know.
person.
Yeah, but you know, now he's doing the same thing with me, and he goes by you.
Yeah, he does.
You know, he
The other
does.
cats didn't. Sarge does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably because he knows that I feed him in the morning. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, I usually do.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So
Are there any other important, big or small things about Eric that you would like our viewers to know about him?
I don't know. We covered quite a bit.
Yeah.
I think we pretty
What
much.
about his middle school,
What do you mean? Middle school.
where you can delete this, right?
Well, not really, not now, but go ahead.
What was special about middle school?
Well, in middle school is when he started, like, well, maybe, yeah, I think it was middle school, with the forgetfulness, with the homework, and with all that kind of
Oh,
stuff.
yeah.
He
And,
turned into like a classic teenager.
yeah, well,
Okay.
maybe it was before middle school. Was it like 6th grade? Or that is
Somewhere in
middle school, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
some schools, yeah.
because his school went to 8th grade.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's kind of when maybe he was just starting to get forgetful or whatever. When that's when he went on the Adderall for
Okay.
ADD when he was
Yeah.
diagnosed.
Yeah.
And that's something we'll cover
Yeah.
later. But
Yeah,
For
we'll
sure.
cover that later. But I mean,
But,
that was
that
part
was-
of his childhood. So
Mhm.
you know,
Speaking of Sarge,
yeah,
he
yeah.
thought
Here he
he'd join
comes.
us.
He's gonna knock down the
Call him up.
Sarge. Come here,
Hi, buddy.
come here. What's going on?
We're talking about your daddy. Hi, bud.
Ah!
Here he is.
Here's everybody. Here's Sergeant
Yeah.
Pepper, otherwise known as Charles.
Sarge.
Sarge, yeah.
Yeah, you knew
Yeah.
we were talking about him.
Yeah.
Ugh,
With that big tail.
Yeah.
ugh. Squirrel tail.
Yeah.
Mm.
Okay.
Well, I've loved learning more about all these great things about Eric. It's good to know who he was as a human and as a person, because as you know, we've said before, he's he's not his addiction. He's not. That was part of his life, but it wasn't. It didn't make him.
It's
No.
not him. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, we'll continue on with our videos and learning more about addiction, learning more about Eric and what that what his life looks like. Yeah, thank you guys for sitting down today.
Thank you for
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, and we'll
Yeah.
see you guys next time.
Bye now.
Thank you. Bye bye.